Alright guys, what's up? I'm back once again with a massive leak. I just want to say, to start this video off, new mapping videos are going to be handled on another channel, so that way you guys don't have to sift through all this crap on my channel to find a video that talks about, you know, like logic or entities or anything else that you're looking for in terms of specifics for the editor. Those videos are going to be much more bite-sized, quick to the point kind of videos, so that way there's no BS and you can just go straight to it, get what you need, and move on. More information on that going to be shared in the BuilderBots United Discord server once that information is ready to be shared. So stick around for that. Join the BuilderBots United Discord for more information on that. But today's video is all about this massive PvE leak that we have here. First of all, I want to give a huge, massive shout out to HST for providing the information here and for being a massive contributor to the community. They have a really cool website called Diabotical.cool where you can find a lot of great information about the game. They have data, rarities for weapons, you know, mag size, reload time, damage, fire rate, etc., etc. This is a huge valued member to the community, but HST, thank you so much for providing this information and for helping me get this out there. So the first thing we're going to start off with is a line of code that was discovered that shows information about this new PvE game mode, a co-op game mode. It's called Invasion. Diabotical Invasion, single player co-op. I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys can see the code that was pulled from the game itself. Diabotical Invasion. It's the new mode that's in the code. Now, the name Invasion could be changed at any time during development. There could be a new name that they come up with for the mode, or it could be the same name. The thing is it uses the rogue_survival game mode to facilitate the mode Invasion. Now, this could be survival too. We don't know. And it just says in the game type description, single player co-op. They could have quests now. I mean, it could be more than just round-based survival. We don't know. We just know it says Invasion, single player co-op, Rogue Survival is the game mode, and then it says the map is EG_ship. And now keep in mind, it also says hub_mode. Okay, so this could be something that happens in the hub at some point. Could happen on a new hub world map. Is it going to be a hub map where we all kind of hang out and yet we can go out into this destroyed world on the ship or something and fight enemies? No one knows. It's interesting that it's hub_mode, not game_mode, which is the way that you access rogue_survival. Some other interesting information about the code is we have finally reference to the Weeble suit. We have confirmation of the Weeble suit. We also have confirmation of the Big Bot suit. We knew before that there were some files in the game that referenced a Weeble that had dual wield, that referenced Big Bot, both the PFX and otherwise, but now we have an official reference in the game code that talks about the Weeble, and it's a class in the game mode of Invasion. As you can see, it's Invasion_Weeble, so we might be seeing a different variation on these suits, specifically tailored and made for this Invasion mode. It could be new skill trees, it could be new abilities, it could be anything. We also have an official reference to the melee weapon. As you can see here, it says customized group weapon, and then it says IDW melee. And then custom group weapon melee finally referenced. So we might be seeing the melee weapon finally make an appearance. It may just be strictly for the invasion mode. We also have a reference to pistol. This could mean the dual wield pistols for the Weeble are going to be making an appearance in the invasion mode. We also have the bow referenced in the code, so bow will be making an appearance in the invasion mode as well. We have references to profile spray and emote. Spray was in the original Diabotical. You could spray a picture onto the map, and then you have the emote, which I guess is going to be one of the new things that you could do, where you can perhaps do a dance. There are things in the game like taunt and greet that I don't believe have any like animations, but when you trigger them in the console, it'll have a message. It'll say you greet your friends or you taunt your foes. We also have references to the coin shop, the microtransactions, the battle pass, the shop items. There's a lot of information here in the code. So I'm going to have a link in the description if you want to check out HST's Diabotical Rogue release tracker. It's a github.com link. You can go through all of them. There's a lot of numbered .js's here, but 94.js is what contains information on the invasion game mode. We have references finally to the suit, customizations for the suit, customizations for the head, and customizations for the eye. So we might be getting very detailed with how we can customize our egg bots or our suits. We also have a customization for perks. So this could be something that is a new system for invasion where we get to pick a perk and bring that into the mode. So I think that's going to be it for all the code related things. If you want to take a closer look at it, I will put the GitHub link down in the description. You can go here to the website and take a look for yourself at the code that was pulled directly from the game. Despite the fact that you cannot actually load the game mode, you cannot play the game mode, HST was able to pull up the game mode and bring up the menus for the game mode. Really quick, we're going to put the first image up of showing off the R-Pincer, Sni, and Heavy Sniper menu here. It looks like this is going to be a way for you to choose your loadout, kind of. Right now we're looking at R-Pincer and we're looking at the revolver. It could be that the revolver in the game files is referenced to as R-Pincer. I doubt it. It's probably all placeholder stuff because R-Pincer isn't actually in the game, that it is using the default weapon of the Magnum. That is my assumption, that is my guess. It's not clear what these are at the moment. I believe our pincer is going to be Rogue Pincer, an upgrade or an alternate version of the original pincer we saw from Diabotical 1. Sni, I think, is going to be the sniper that you use on the Scout class. And again, this is obviously some kind of work in progress menu for the mode. This is probably going to look a lot cleaner and a lot more clearer once we reach the release of that mode. We're going to take a look now at the next image. We have the customization menu. We have a suit customization. We have a head customization, an eye customization, and a perk customization. Now, this could be stuff that is exclusive to the invasion mode. You get to customize your head, you get to customize your eye, and you get to bring to the match some kind of perk to give you an extra edge. Now, it makes sense that maybe they don't want you to mess too much with all that customization in the main PvP mode, since typically in the history of Diabotical, they didn't want to disrupt too much of the visibility of your enemies or of yourself. So we might only get head customization and eye customization in the invasion mode, in the PvE mode. But I would not be surprised if they are going to take a new approach with customization and bring this content to PvP along with anything else that makes it into the PvE and invasion mode. The perk customization, I think, is going to be an exclusive invasion concept unless they decide to bring that over to the mobile mode to some extent. Now we're on to the locker. As you can see, very similar to the locker we have access to right now, where you can see your suit, you can see your weapons, you can see... I don't believe the profile is actually in our current rendition of the locker. I'd have to go and look at that once again. But we have confirmation of the Weeble and Big Bot right here in a single image. We also have the AR. We have the bow at the bottom. We've got the melee. We've got the SMG, shotguns, snipers, pistols. So what we could be looking at here is that you're going to be able to have access to not just one of these weapons. There might be multiple weapons in the game that are ARs, that are shotguns, snipers, etc. that maybe you'll be able to customize, or maybe this is a loadout sequence. You can select which weapon you want to bring on the initial. You know, if they're going to go with traditional survival from the original game, they're probably going to have you start with an initial weapon, and then you'll have to find other weapons out in the map. Again, the mode itself is unclear how it's going to play. The code doesn't go into that, but we have more information coming up. So HST continued to test things with this mode and tried to figure out if there was a way to launch it. They did get a crash, and the crash provided a log with information that's actually really interesting. So we have this log from the game when trying to launch the invasion mode with rogue_survival as the main mode. At the top here, we've got game_AI. We have game allow player downed. Okay, so this is the biggest thing from this leak. I mean, for me at least. When I was working with survival, it was one of my biggest suggestions that they should be looking into a way to revive players, that players don't just die, they go into a down state, and then you can revive them. Here we go. We have confirmed code from a crash log that says game allow player down, suggesting that you will be able to revive each other. This is going to be perhaps a round-based game, and if it's not, even more interesting that you're going to be able to go down, you're going to be able to revive your teammates, and it's going to be interesting to see if there are perks or some kind of skill tree that expands on all these ideas. We have game attack siege coming up next, so this could be some kind of sub-objective. There were sub-objectives in the map editor that would suggest that you could have kind of control points that you have to hold or that enemies could attack. Game classes, game dome damage frequency, game dome enabled edit mode, game dome max count, max size, min count, mid size, shrink scale spacing, wave active, wave initial delay, wave wait, wave warning. So what is game_dome? I don't know. It actually might have something to do with the enemies. There's damage frequency, there's the enabled and edit mode, max count, max size. So max count and max size is interesting. Is it because I would say max size could be redundant to max count, but is max size, are we talking about the size of an entity, of a prop? And max count is the amount of the entities or props. So that'll be interesting. We've got min count, min size. Again, same kind of questions. Shrink scale, so it could shrink or change size. So that'll be interesting. Spacing, wave active, and then a bunch of wave. So I don't know. I mean, this is all very interesting information, and it's all speculatory. Game model, we have game player, unmounted model scale, unmounted view height. So here's an interesting one. Just like game dome, we have game ring damage, game ring enabled, shrinks time, size, and wait time. We have game rounds, so that right there suggests that this is going to be a round-based mode. We have windsurf enabled. We have windsurf radius, windsurf speed, physics kinetic acceleration, physics scale. We might be able to see some kind of physics adjustments based on perks, based on characters. Perhaps classes will specifically have physics adjustments to them. It'll be interesting. I would prefer them to lean into the perks. So guys, this is a massive leak, okay? Massive leak. And we officially have a name for the mode in the code. We're not speculating anymore. It is called Invasion, using the rogue_survival game mode as its foundation. I don't know. What do I think of this? I think this is so far looking and shaping up to be an incredible game. Just if you think about what is planned, if we're looking at a PvP mode like Wipeout as the casual PvP experience, and we're looking at the MOBA mode as a kind of more of a higher brow competitive experience, and then we have the casual, uber casual PvE mode Invasion as the go-to for people who want to play this game but don't want to kind of put too much pressure on themselves to win in a PvP match. This is going to be a very successful game by the end of its life cycle. That's my take based on what I'm seeing before me and the information that I have. Now, at what point will PvE be released? I don't know. It's shaping up to look like we're going to be getting more MOBA content before we get any PvE content. If I had to speculate, it would make more sense that if they want a much more sophisticated survival experience, that they release the PvP, tone in or zero in on the suits, make sure weapons feel good for the PvP experience, get that crowd on board, release the MOBA, release the bots, fine-tune the bots, fine-tune the MOBA experience, get everybody on board with the way that that feels, and then once everything feels great, everyone feels good with that, then go for that PvE casual experience. Because what you do in the MOBA mode in terms of sophistication with the bots could really impact what you do with the PvE mode, and how you can allow players in the editor to really see a vision come to life that they might have for the bots. You know, we could be looking at maps that are akin to the original Doom in terms of player creation, the original Quake, what people could do like in Trench Broom now with a much more sophisticated editor. We could be looking at something far more sophisticated than the things that I was able to do in survival. We could be talking about not just survival maps with quests and all this other stuff, but survival experiences that people bring to the table. You know, new ways to tell a story. So this is shaping up. Diabotical Rogue, as of right now, is shaping up to be the 10 out of 10 game that the original Diabotical had aspirations of being. Now, as my closing statement, it's hard to say specifically, based on the information we know, is PvE going to be a good mode? Is MOBA going to be a good mode? We have to see more from the studio. We have to see more information either in the code or through trailers, some kind of video, or experience it for ourselves to really decide, is that what it's going to be? What I'm saying is projections is it's going to be a 10 out of 10. That's a projection based on the information I have before me. It could change, could go down to an 8 out of 10, a 7 out of 10. It could bomb down to a 6 or a 5. But the Wipeout mode as it is now, the way the suits feel, the way the combat feels, the casual nature of the game, it's leaning as of right now into 7 or 8 territory as of right now. The 7 or 8 rating is based on kind of, we only have one mode, we only have 3 suits, but already from the jump, we're looking at a 7.5 in terms of quality, in terms of the game itself being really well made and a lot of fun. We get that MOBA mode, that could easily jump to a 9. If the MOBA mode is executed as well as I believe they can execute it, we could be looking at massive maps. We could be looking at massive combat engagements. We saw the artillery in the editor. We could be using that stuff in this game mode, the MOBA game mode. It could be massive military engagements with robots, which sounds awesome. And minions thrown in there. There's going to be be MOBA inspired mechanics. There could be towers we go after. We don't know, but that mode is shaping up to push this game from that 7.5 current rating to an easy 9. And I'm talking if they can execute it, and if the quality is still there, if the combat is still exciting, and if it plays the way it's supposed to play and feels good to play. We're looking at a 9 out of 10 just with those two modes. Now after that, if they can deliver an insane PvE experience with this invasion mode, we're looking at a 10 out of 10 5-star game. And if they can maintain the $20 price point throughout, this is going to be so worth every penny. You're getting so much content, so much quality. It's going to be, for me, game of the year. That's my take. If they can execute the MOBA, if they can execute this PvE mode the right way, the way that it needs to be executed, and I'm not saying it needs to be executed the way I want it to be executed. It's very clear with this game, the team at Good Studio, not just James, his team has a vision for what they want. The quality shows, but I would temper that and just focus on what we have now and focus on helping the team get to that place where they can work on the MOBA and they can work on this invasion mode confidently with your feedback and with the support of the community. All right, guys, so with that discussion out of the way, I think we're wrapping up this video. I don't have any more information on this invasion mode. If I do come across any more information, I will share it. But until then, the leaks might be running dry as of right now. I don't see any more information coming out until we get kind of another update to the game. And we just received an update, but in terms of the code and in terms of a lot of internal things, we might not be getting any more information until we get the big bot character or until we get the MOBA mode itself. So we'll keep our eyes on that and we'll make sure that we provide that information to you. Once again, big shout out to HST for providing this information to me and for being such a massive contributor to the community. Again, diabotical.cool. You can visit that website. I'll put that link in the description. That was created by HST to facilitate information for Rogue and the original Diabotical game. I will also put the link to the GitHub that I was looking at in the beginning of the video. So you can look at that yourself. You can look at the invasion mode and all the information tied to it. More mapping content will be coming to a new channel, which I will be sharing in the BuilderBots United Discord. So for anybody who wants more information on that, join the Discord, be on the lookout for that information. It will be shared as soon as the channel is ready to be shared. There's a bit of work going on right now to make sure that it's a smooth transition from the old Diabotical mapping channel to the new Diabotical mapping channel. There might be a few of you out there who know exactly what channel I'm talking about, but yeah, we're going to be updating it and we're going to be creating a new kind of focus, obviously more with Rogue and that editor. So be on the lookout in BuilderBots United Discord. I will make an announcement as soon as all that is ready. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Y'all take care, stay safe, enjoy the game, provide your feedback constructively, and I will see you next time.